You're such a nice guy. Oh my God, why are you single? Why are you single? You're such a nice guy.
Every single person is going to be very different based on your birth chart. There can be someone who has a Libra stellium, lots of planets in Libra, but they have Pluto aspecting all of those planets. They have Mars aspecting all of those planets, or Moon, or whatever it might be. And also could be in the 7th house or the 4th house or the 8th house. Like, different houses and aspects change the expression of that particular planet. Back to my YouTube. It is your girl Honey. Welcome back, people. Welcome back. Those of you who are new here, welcome. Please make sure you guys hit that like, subscribe, share button, because everyone needs to be informed of this information. So I thought I would redo this video talking a little bit more, about having Mars in Libra. This was probably the most commented on Mars in the signs video, and I strongly feel it was all down to one statement I made, because everyone was like, that's not me, that's not me, that's not me. I wanted to kind of remake the video and just explain it in depth, so those people who were a little bit confused understand where I'm coming from and what my perspective is of the matter. Okay, so let's think about what is Mars. Mars is your motivation, drive, temperament, reaction, response. Mars is seen as your energy. So whatever house Mars is positioned in, whatever sign Mars is positioned in, it's giving you energy, it's giving you conflict, confrontation, competition. Mars is also ruled by Aries. Aries is home to the 1st house. The 1st house is the house of the self. It's the impression, the first thing that people see. When you think about Mars, Mars is always going to be your responses towards things, your mannerisms and your body language as well. When you think about putting Mars in Libra, Libra is home to the 7th house. Libra rules Venus. Venus is a very passive, aggressive planet. And by the way, Mars is your divine masculine energy. Venus is your divine feminine energy. They are yin yang energies. So when you have a divine masculine energy, such as Mars, positioned in Libra, which is divine feminine energy, it tends to weaken the expression of Mars. And this is why Mars has a hard time being in Libra. When you think about the 7th house, which is the original house associated with Libra, Mars has a hard time being in there. Those of you who would be comfortable reading through charts, you guys will also agree that when you have your Mars in Libra, there tends to be quite a lot of other positions that relate to the Mars being a lot more weakened. For example, I find when Mars sits in Libra, for a lot of people, there tends to be a Saturn square, a Neptune square, there can even be a Uranus square. Mars can be in the 7th house, it can be in any house, or to someone's Aries, Saturn in Aries, Mars in the 12th house. That just weakens the expression of the Mars even more, because Mars struggles there. It's debilitated here, so it has a hard time really expressing itself in its divine energy. So Libra represents relationships, bonds, titles, marriages, partnerships, and balance. It's also our passive aggression. When we see Mars in Libra, we are seeing someone who may not know how to express their passion. And this is the thing, it's always about what's on the receiving end. So the people who are dating these people, or have friends who are these people, or know these people, are seeing, and they're a little bit like, okay, you seem very passive, you're not very argumentative. Unless we have Mars squaring Moon, Mars aspecting the ascendant, the sun. Like, your personal placement will be very different in terms of what I'm just talking about today, which is the Mars in Libra and what that means. So Mars in Libra has a hard time being here because it becomes very passive, and it's always thinking about, okay, what's the best thing for me to do in terms of other people. When you think about the opposite sun, which is the Aries, Mars in Aries is, okay, what's going to be best for me to do? because it's all about me, whereas Libra is about us. So what we find is that this person can be very motivated by relationships and also motivated to just keep the peace, because it's all about creating harmony and balance. When you think about Libra, there is a strong motivation towards justice. So there may be a passion involved in law. Quite a few of my Mars and Libra friends are studying law right now, but didn't initially start studying law until later in life. And what's interesting with this actually is because when Mars sits in Libra, although it's a cardinal sign, and cardinal represents taking the initiative or making the initiative to do something, because it's lacking passion, sometimes Mars and Libra can take a while to find its passion or its purpose, and also its energy or how to channel it in the right direction. Think about Mars as being your temperament, your anger, your frustration. Having your Mars in a Venus sign. And by the way, this is very relatable for Taurus, for having your Mars in Taurus, because Taurus is also ruled by Venus. These particular Mars energies are not easy to get angry. Having your Mars in Libra makes you extremely patient, very patient. When you're around people that have aspects towards your Mars, like challenging aspects like Pluto squares, Moon squares, Sun squares, Mars squares, you know, when someone's Mars sits in your 7th house, your 4th house, oh my gosh, all of that will contribute to arguments, drama. And Mars and Libra hates anything to do with argument and confrontation. It hates it. But again, what happens is it wants to apply justice and balance and beauty and all these amazing things to an argument. So it likes to try to avoid those problems. Even when they get really frustrated, right, you've got to remember Libra is all about other people. So it's very good at going over to its friend or calling its friend.
Oh my God, did you hear about Chantel? She did this and she did that. I mean, what should I do?
Like, I'm not saying they're gossipers, but there is an element of being flaky. There is an element, and you don't have to relate for those people going to comment.
Oh, I'm not like that.
But my point is, there is an element of being flaky. And what we can find is that your friend can say something to you that you may not relate with or agree with, but you may not say in that moment, yeah, you're wrong for that. You shouldn't do that. You just see the Mars and Libra just sit back. Oh, you know what? Oh, if that's what you want to do, okay, cool. Okay, cool. We then see that same Mars and Libra go and tell its other best friend, you'll never guess what so-and-so, like, again, the energy revolves around other people again and not being completely direct. The reason why they're going and coming to you and telling you, oh my God, she did this or she did that, is because they're looking for you to help them to make a decision. This is an air sign, and air is all about thinking and procrastinating. So when you're speaking to a Mars in Libra, they're telling you and they're communicating with you this problem. But it's about asking for your advice as well, not just to express, but to ask for your advice, because they're not always sure of what to do. They want to stay neutral and stay balanced. So in the previous video that I made, a lot of people, or there was a particular comment that stood out to me. And this guy said the reason why, you know, Libra people don't like confrontations because, you know, once they get mad, that's it, it's the worst anger ever. No, it's not. Not at all.
And this is where we see the misinformation being spread around town.
Every single person is going to be very different based on your birth chart. There can be someone who has a Libra stellium, lots of planets in Libra, but they have Pluto aspecting all of those planets. They have Mars aspecting all of those planets, or Moon, or whatever it might be. And also could be in the 7th house or the 4th house or the 8th house. Like, different houses and aspects change the expression of that particular planet. Libra is not an energy. Mars in Libra is temperament, and your temperament being in Venus does not make you does not contribute to you being angry. And it's mad because, like, what these people like do all the time, if they are really angry, they might do this thing where they may choose to like run away. If they don't really want to resolve the situation, they may have like this outburst, but the outburst is a word or a short sentence, and they literally run away, or they hang the phone up. They run away, put the phone down, and that's it. When you look at other Mars signs, particular Mars signs will fight till the death. That's not what Mars and Libra is about. Like, think about really intense conversations, yeah? conversations that are really uncomfortable to be had, and you bring it up to the Mars and Libra and they're just like they're literally ready to have the conversation. The whole tone, their body language, the mannerism changes. They don't want to have this deep conversation because it may go into confrontation. So they try to keep it light or try to keep it balanced. Even when it comes to the sex drive of a Mars and Libra, again, remember I'm saying this is about the Mars being in this sign only. This is not seen as the most sexually driven Mars to have. We see someone who doesn't always initiate sex first or likes to have sex based on what their partner thinks or feels at that time. And those of you who may initiate sex, it tends to be initiated in a very gentle way. So it may be like there's candles up or scented smells in the house, or you cooked a lovely dinner. When it comes to initiating sex, it's more of a beautiful experience rather than it be a physical exchange. Mars and Libra, this also depends on what they have aspecting your planets as well in terms of sex, but on its own, Mars and Libra is not one of those signs that is very forthcoming. Like, there are Mars and Libras who will not have sex for months, for weeks, and not have any issue or feel bothered by this, because to them it's just an experience. In terms of things being very free and freaky, like, they tend to be introduced into things, and what we see is other people are projecting their sexuality onto you. Do you get what I mean? So you are willing, like, this position is willing to try things, but it's not the type to just, you know what, I think I'm going to pick up a toy or pick up this, or it's not kinky in that respect. If it is, someone is introducing it to them and they are new to it and they may try it, but it's not the sign that is so forthcoming to wanting to do all of that stuff at all. And this was the issue in my previous video, where a lot of people did not want to hear that, okay, the sex isn't, I'm not someone who initiates things, but it's about really understanding the purpose of that sign. And although you may feel that you come across that way, it all depends on your personal chart, your synastry with someone else, but understand the energy in its own is not the most initiating sign when it comes to sexual intercourse at all. It doesn't initiate stuff. When you think about Libra, Libra is the scales. It's about balancing things. So you have your Mars and Libra, and because Mars is a malefic, it's going to create confrontation. So confrontation can also be in the sign it sits in. So instead of things being balanced here, Mars is at an imbalance. You see, it's at an imbalance. So this person's sex drive can be imbalanced. To you, it could be normal because you don't want to see how things are, right? It tends to be at an imbalance here. And to do this, I feel like the best thing to do is probably planning sex, planning it. Like, you know, we'll go out 3 days this week, or, you know, next month we'll do this or do that. And I know that Mars and Libra hates planning. It does not like to have to plan ahead. It likes things to be more romantic and unexpected. But if you guys are not initiating it as much as your partner, it's just not going to happen. For a lot of people, sex is like a way to just get closer to someone, to see someone's vulnerable side, you know, to almost express love. And to a Mars and Libra, it's completely different to them. Yes, it's a way to express, this is how much I love you, how much I care about you, but it's not as deep as it would be for someone who may have, like, maybe a Mars in Cancer or maybe a Mars in Scorpio. But again, if it's in the 8th house or in the 4th house, then yeah, it's very deep. But when Mars sits in here, it needs the experience to be beautiful. Another thing as well, like, a lot of Mars and Libra men get called,
you're such a nice guy. Oh my God, why are you single? Why are you single? You're such a nice guy.
Because they are. Like, let's just be real. Obviously, like, it doesn't mean nice guys and, oh, let's take advantage of him, let's call him free food. That doesn't work like that. A nice guy is based on how well he's willing to treat women. And you've got to remember, your Mars is in a divine feminine sign. So he's willing to put more work in to understand women. So it's a beautiful position to have when you look at it from that perspective. It doesn't mean he's the most faithful, committed person at all. The whole chart will have to be looked at to find that out. Although a guy having this placement can be so great to women, we can also see a guy who can be great to lots of women. Can be so good to lots of different people. Don't look at Mars and Libra as being the most promiscuous of the signs. It can have an element of being a bit promiscuous in terms of being with multiple people. Again, you have to look at the whole chart to see or to confirm that. Libra is all about other people and being around and being sociable, and having Mars there, the Mars, I'm motivated to keep a bond with you, you, and you, and you. I want to be friends with everybody. Do you get what I mean? Yes, people, that is my YouTube video for today. I hope you guys have thoroughly enjoyed it. I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Peace.